Hi guys, it's your girl Yummy.com. Thank you for coming back, my internet friends. I am here to bring you, like, subscribe, or don't, whatever you feel like. I'm here to bring you the good news. Royalty is back and I'm happy about it. Basically, I watched, finally, an illegal version of Six the Musical. Now, I know what you're saying, Yummy, how can you not support the arts and go see the show? Well, my thing is, I'm going to go see the show. I will go see the show, obviously, but I wanted to see the show with the original cast in it because I really do love a lot of the people who play those characters. No way. If you thought it'd be funny to send me to a laundry party, there's no way. Say oh well or go to hell. I'm sorry, not sorry about what I said. Don't lose your head. In the bed and the little one said, if you wanna be wet, make up your mind. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see it. I was gonna go see it, and then, you know, COVID shut everything down, so I couldn't see it. And then by the time it came back, I wasn't back in New York yet, so I missed it with the original cast. So I watched it on YouTube.
Like a bad girl, I'm so sorry.
Did I just admit to something illegal? I hope not. Don't arrest me. Anyways, with that being said, I have been watching a lot of Six the Musical. I've been watching a lot of that bootleg version. I love it. I love all the songs. I can sing every song. The House of Hollywood is one of my favorites. I think that every song is amazing. If I had to pick a least favorite, it would be Heart of Stone, just because I'm not a big ballads girl some days. Some days, you'll find me crying in the shower to it. Like other days, you know, just not my jam. On top of that, I'm a big fan of royalty in general. I am a huge fan of English literature, King Arthur type stories. I love the times of kings and queens. I watch so much of Bridgerton that I really shouldn't. And with that being said, I figured I would give you some of my favorite fictional queens. Now, I have fictional in air quotes because some of them are real queens that are based off of, like, much like Six the Musical. I'm pointing this way because I have a little six poster over here. Much like Six the Musical, they are real queens fictional characters based off of real queens. So with that being said, I'm going to name out my favorite, my top 5, if you will, bad bitch queens ever. And for that, I will need my handy dandy notebook. Okay, right to the page. So, one of my first favorite queens is, okay, this is like stupid. It's very stupid. But it's Mr. Queen from, it's the queen from Mr. Queen. Mr. Queen is a Korean drama about a man who has been, he's a chef for the Blue House, which is the equivalent of the White House in Korea, and it's a man who has been jetted into the past, into the body of a queen from the Joseon dynasty. The whole show is kind of about this man kind of trying to get his bearings in this world and trying to survive in this terrible landscape where there's just fighting and, like, you know, things, and the husband doesn't love her and all these different things. He's just taking all of this on the chin while also being a very self-centered douchebag of a dude, which is hilarious when you add it to the character that is the queen. I put this character, like, this is the least serious one, I would say, on the list, just because I really love the show and I really love what they did with the character. There's so many callbacks to, like, modern times, like the McDonald's bit and the making the Shin ramen. Like, there's so many callbacks to the past times, but the character of the queen really, like, demands a presence.
저 여인은 도대체 정잡을 수가 없구나. 하면 피 우린 예쁘장한 savage.
이래서 피해자 코스프레가 무서운 거야. 괴물이 되는 줄도 모르고 매일 조금씩 괴물이 돼가니까.
By the end of it, the actual queen comes back into her body and she's kind of like taking a cue from this chef of like, you know, not letting people take her shit. You know, she has these like really thought out like pieces of monologue that I really love. There's like a scene where she's talking to the king at the time and she's like, you're only targeting me because I'm weak. You think I'm weaker than you.
이씨네! 내가 뭘 들어서건 네가 여자에 미쳐서건 날 죽이려던 이유는 딱 하나야. 내가 너보다 약하니까. 쉽게 죽일 수 있으니까. 내가 너보다 약하니까. 그게 진짜 이유야. 자, 다시 해봐. 네가 그저 약한 사람을 죽이는 살인마일 뿐이라는 걸 증명해.
Like, oh my god, if I was in my man body, I'd beat the shit out of you. And, you know, I really love that scene. Obviously, any interaction she has with the king is very interesting. She kind of becomes this warrior badass. You know, chefs are good with knives. Towards the end of it, she gets pregnant on accident. Oh my god, one of the funniest scenes ever is when she, like, is, like, trying to eat the yogurt that's like alcoholic, but she finds out she's pregnant, so she can't eat it after she's been fermenting it for a really long time. So that's like really hilarious. But yeah, so that's why I chose Mr. Queen as our first queen.
창고 가득히 재물을 쌓기 위해 그런 거죠. 탐욕을 채우기 위해 하나뿐인 딸도 팔아먹은 거죠.
소영아.
왜 내게 항상 중전이 되어 가문과 아비의 자랑이 되라 말하셨습니까? 왜 내게 중전만 되면 뭐든 할 수 있다 말하셨습니까? 어머님의 죽음에 대한 죄책감으로 몸부림치는 내게 왜 자꾸만 당신의 꿈을 말하셨습니까? 내가 무슨 심정으로 그날 밤 호수에 몸을 던졌는지 아십니까? 여태 내 삶이라 여겨왔던 것이 전부 거짓이다. 내가 꾸어온 꿈조차 내 것이 아니다. 나는 모든 것을 실패했다. 그래서 나를 버린 겁니다.
That being said, we're going to go very serious for the next one. And we're going to choose a queen who is actually in 6, Miss Catherine of Aragon in the show Spanish Princess. Now, if you know anything about Catherine of Aragon's life, if you watch 6, if you know anything about history, she was one of the first of 6. She was the Spanish princess sent over on her 16th birthday to a prince who died and then had to marry his brother after being imprisoned.
House of Tudor, I give to you our illustrious princess, Catherine of Aragon.
I'm Princess of Spain and Princess of Wales.
Soon to be Princess of Wales.
My marriage was held by proxy in my absence.
It's kind of a very sad story, but you really see the grace and strength that the actress chooses to play Catherine Aragon in. And I think the common thread within anyone who's playing Catherine Aragon is this regal princess, because while all of the rest of Henry's wives were, you know, not necessarily queens or princesses or nobility in their own right, they had relations to the palace, they had cousins and sisters, some of them were cousins with previous queens. Catherine was queen in her own right. She was a princess in her own right in birth, and she had the money. Like, England really needed her to marry into their family because they were po. They were po.
She's arrogant and overprivileged.
The perfect character for a queen. But of course you'd like her humble and penitent.
I don't like her.
She brings the might and wealth of Spain to us. Who any of us like or do not like is of no consequence.
I wear my veil until I am married.
Here our customs are different.
You sound afraid, Your Grace. Why would you be afraid? You fear I may be ugly? What difference would it make? I am here to make a treaty for my mother and my country. And you need me more than we need you.
And you see in the show Mr. Princess, like, he's like, they're so quick to disrespect her and disregard her, but they regret it at every turn because she, like everyone around her, knows her worth.
You have betrayed us all. You told your sister Meg she would have her inheritance from Arthur, and yet you will not hand it over. You told your sister Mary she may choose her second husband for herself, and yet you plot behind her back to do the opposite. You promised me fidelity. Yet there is Bessie Blount. And to your mistress Bessie you promised food, and water, and a roof above her head. Yet that too is a lie, and now she cries herself to sleep at night. I believe in the one true Catholic faith, but I respect the beauty of Islam. I want you to know these two sides of me.
Like, she, like, unlike everyone around her, knows her worth. She knows what she's worth. She knows that she is a legitimate princess of line of blood and royalty. And though she goes down swinging. And I really appreciate that in The Spanish Princess. Also, I love the costuming in that. Like, the veil situation that she has at the beginning. The whole costuming is just so strong. And I really do love it.
You are the queen.
My name's Catherine of Aragon. Was married 24 years. I'm a paragon of royalty. My loyalty is to the Vatican. So if you try to dump me, you won't try that again.
The next one we have is a Russian queen.
I am terrifying.
The Russian Queen Catherine the Great. Catherine the Great.
Calling yourself the Great?
Of course.
Seems arrogant.
It is if you're not great. If you are, it is just calling things what they are.
From the show The Great. This show is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, it is on Hulu. It is starring Nicholas Hoult, who I will forever and never let him let go that he was a beast man in X-Men. He was the thing of childhood dreams. I remember watching him when I was a kid and I was like, ooh, what a cute little white boy. But anyways, it's starring obviously him, and it's starring Elle Fanning, not Dakota, Elle Fanning, and she plays this role beautifully. It's kind of the expedited version of what Catherine of Aragon had to go through. Something of innocence and not necessarily nobility, but like regalness of something, and coming into a situation where no one fucking respects you.
Catherine, you have a heart of snow. Cold, pure.
You burned my school down.
I did. Well, you may go. I forgive you, of course, as I am of gentle heart and massive cock. Gentlemen, I said I am of gentle heart and massive cock. You are disgusting! Do not lie to me again! Oh, you are admirably quick. I never imagined myself as the guy who punches his wife.
And yet you are. I'm a prisoner here.
Indeed.
Married to an idiot.
And you have to build and earn and fight for that respect. And you see it in the most comedic way. Unlike The Spanish Princess, this is way more funny.
Violence is not the answer to everything.
In this court, it is a language that everyone understands. You will not get far if you do not come to terms with that.
Fine. Guards! Beat the fuck out of him.
Funny. You're a witty creature. At times, the point is so slight, one almost does not... What the fuck are you two doing? Hey!
Help, and you will be shot. My husband and I are busy discussing an issue. Can you hear me now?
In the most comedic way, you see her innocence die within the first episode, and her quickly realizing the situation, not quick enough sometimes, but quickly realizing the situation in which she has found herself in, to the point where she fucking ends up being the ruler.
Like God himself had spat me forth to land on this earth and in some way transform it. That I was here for a reason, a purpose.
Why did he make you a woman then?
For comedy, I guess.
Like, her useless husband, who's obsessed with his mother, has to take a back seat because she becomes the ruler, because she knows what the fuck to do. She knows what kind of vision she has. She understands the peacefulness. She prefers peace, but she will cut a bitch. And her one-liners are ziggy. Do a montage here if I can.
You are more than what's between your legs.
Did you just call me a dumb whore?
I more implied smart whore. I am not a pretty jasmine flower with swimming pools for eyes, you fat fuck. And Russia will be the greatest nation on earth, you French fuck. If you say pretty, I will smack you again.
Ouch! Fucking corset! Are you hurt?
No.
Her lines are so good. They're so amazing, and they speak to her previous innocence with her current knowledge and her understanding and her drive. and everyone just around them slowly realizing, it's like she realized where she had to be 100 steps ahead, and then they're all catching up to her 100 steps ahead, and it's excellent.
Stand, we are all Russians. In our pain and in our sorrows. In our simple hopes for less pain. A less wounded future. For a future where our hearts sing and rush with joy at the country we build.
I highly recommend you watch The Great if you have never seen it. The next queen is a twofer. I'm going to do two queens because they're both from one show. And honestly, I would give them each their own category, but the show pissed me off in the end. And you know I'm talking about Game of Thrones, baby. You know I'm talking about Game of Thrones. You know I'm talking about Game of Thrones. And the queens that I'm choosing are obviously Daenerys Targaryen and Sansa Stark, as you shall call her. Obviously, I think that the writing was beautiful on that show. Everything that Daenerys said was inspirational. Roll a montage if I can.
Here is no dragon. Fire cannot kill a dragon.
Perhaps we'll make a slave of you as well. You swore me safe conduct.
I did. Bet my dragons made no promises, and you threatened their mother.
Zadrizes buzdaris kosdaur.
Idraji valere.
Nigay Daenerys Chelmasmo and Targaryen entrat. And Valeria Wepoanagarixan. Valeria Munioengos Nuhis Isa.
She was built to be the breaker of chains, the mother of dragons from the set, from the get-go. She was one of the strongest characters. And again, a common theme with all of these characters are queens that came very innocent, very docile, and had to learn to grow up real fucking quick. Like, that is a common theme for every queen on this list. However, and I am only talking about Daenerys Targaryen up until middle of season 7. Everything after that, I disregard, okay? I don't feel as canon. Yes, it may be canon to some of you. It is not canon to me, because the person I saw fight for slaves, birth dragons, free herself from tyranny, win the hearts, the minds, and the thoughts of the Dothraki, of Tyrion Lannister, of all these different people, Dario Naharis, was not the same woman who just burned people to a crisp in the last episode and wanted to get her bone on with her nephew. I don't think that those are the same people. I don't think those are the same writers, so I disregard all of that. But she was amazing. Secondly, we have Sansa. She's been through shit. Again, another queen who came in docile and not understanding, with like wide-eyed intentions of marrying Joffrey, the human garbage bag. And all of a sudden, she's there stuck in a situation where her father is dead, and the only thing she can do to protect herself is be a pawn piece for all of these people around her. She was pillaged, raped, disrespected, disregarded, beaten within an inch of her life at every turn, and she still was a better ruler than Jon.
You've known him for the space of a single conversation. You and your trusted advisors, and you sit around making your plans on how to defeat a man you don't know. I lived with him. I know the way his mind works. I know how he likes to hurt people. Did it ever once occur to you that I might have some insight?
She's the reason he won the Battle of the Bastards. She's the reason anyone really bent the knee. Yes, they bent it for Jon, but they knew Sansa was backing, and that's what strengthened them. Sansa, from the beginning, was annoying and obnoxious, but we quickly wanted to root for her through every step of the way, as she lost family member after family member after family member after family member after family member. And then I cried when she got reunited with her family, with Jon, who was like being all sulky, and Bran, who's fucking weird, and Arya, who's like, I want to cut your face off. You know, like, her family's fucking weird, and she's still a great queen, so we bodied that.
No one can protect me. No one can protect anyone.
Men do stupid things for women. They're easily manipulated.
The last queen we are talking about on this list is by far my favorite on this list. Again, I talk a lot about like the dialogue chosen for these queens to say. I think that that is some of the most important parts of this list because a queen is nothing without her words. Kings can fight. They are expected to fight, in fact. Queens are expected to either look pretty or to be able to inspire. And that's what is a common thread as well. And like I was saying, the common thread of being innocent and then thrown into fucking danger immediately.
You've changed since you came back to us from convent. I miss the girl you were.
Many will. She was easier to kill.
Mary, Queen of Scots.
I am Mary, Queen of Scots, and I have come to my throne.
From the show Reign. First of all, Adeline Kane is one of my favorite actresses ever. I remember I used to watch her on Power Rangers as Tanai 7, and then she was on something else I can't remember. She was on something else.
None of you are doing anything.
We're trying.
And you're failing.
Gisela!
What have you done? What both of you were most afraid of? I turned my heart black. And now, it's of no use to you, Mother. You failed.
And then she became Mary, Queen of Scots. And I respected the hell out of Mary, Queen of Scots, because Mary, Queen of Scots had to go through a lot of shit. She came in from, literally raised from a convent to a foreign land where she was expecting to meet her childhood love and just was like, have a great day with him and be like, oh my God, come to find out he's fucking other bitches already. And he's like, well, we may not even get married. I know I got you kind of on the side. You're kind of my side bitch for now until I'm sure Scotland is useful for me. And then you know what she did? She made that bitch fall in love with her. And what did he do? Everything she said. Because what she say? Inspiring shit.
You will be hanged for what you did to me. You will suffer and die, and I will live. In 100 years, as queen, I will be remembered, and your name will be forgotten.
If you turn against her, you turn against France. And I will fight you like I would fight them. To the death. I am asking you, as Frenchmen, to make the right choice today. Catherine is still your queen. France is still your country, your home, as it has been mine since I was a child. This is our country. We cannot afford to let it burn. We must listen to our conscience and make the right choice.
The way you handled Clan Gordon proved to me that
I don't have to prove myself to you. I am queen, and your job is to serve me. Instead, you serve a Protestant agenda, Knox's agenda. You tried to help wipe out my Catholic supporters, or was that Knox's idea too?
I may live in France, but I have the heart of a Scot. France has betrayed us, so I charge you men to take the news with you. Tell the world. Kill them. And let them burn with their sins.
No, my lord, I beg you, no!
She gave speech after speech after speech. She has had one of the most known speech compilations on YouTube for queens because it's just strength and energy and beauty within everything she did. She was fucked over time and time again, and she worked with what she had.
Partner, you have lied to me, cheated on me, humiliated me. How exactly do you expect me to treat you? I will marry you because I see no other option. But that is the only reason. This is why you wish to kill me? This is why my husband is dead? I gave no such order. My mother sat the Scottish throne while I was an ocean away. She made her own decisions. And now my husband is dead for nothing. I would have stayed in France for the rest of my life, but you brought me here. You took my heart. And now I've come to repay you.
Another queen that I respect is Catherine, of course. Catherine Dimitri.
Welcome to being a ruling queen, Mary. Men will trust you and die. These are the first. Well, they won't be the last. It'll go on and on until your death, because that's the way it works. And a beautiful young queen. Men are going to throw themselves into the fire for you, my dear. They'll shoulder lost causes and take on risks they should never take. In time, you'll get used to it.
Was a great queen, but she was kind of a bitch for a lot of it. So like we sidestep her. But Mary made poor choices. Like any human. She humanized the queen. She made poor choices, but she did it for what she thought was best, and it was always for Scotland.
As you wish, Lord Ruthven. I will be more than happy to round up the remaining members of your faithless Privy Council for the testimony I need. And I will do it, no matter how long it takes.
Go get him! Act fast and show that I am a great leader, indispensable, destined, and loved. I can. I must.
이런 개?
보잘것없는 나에게 와줘서 실수.
Stronger, you could have had everything. Conde, your freedom, your crown.
You are my husband and my king.
Mary, we're alone. There's no need.
He is a traitor. And I love you, Francis.
I don't think my husband needs a lecture from you on betrayal.
Do you accuse me of something?
Oh, many things, I'm sure. But let's start with the betrayal of promises. Unless somehow your grain has arrived beneath our notice.
She speaks for you in this.
She is my queen. And yes, she does. In this and most things. You do best to remember it.
What if your vision of the bear and the great love, your heart filled and glowing, what if that great love was Russia itself? Not Peter.
You are the son of the last true Warden of the North. Northern families are loyal. They'll fight for you if you ask. A monster has taken our home and our brother.
I show you how a real queen behaves. How? No damsel in distress don't need to save me. Once I start breathing fire, you can't tame me. And you might think I'm weak without a sword, but if I had one, it'd be bigger than yours. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. Chester King can move one space at a time, but queens are free to go wherever they like. You got too close, you'll get a royalty high. So breathe it in to feel the love.
The only crime I have committed that you care about is that I am a woman who wears a crown.
A woman in power goes against nature itself. Men will never willingly bow to the weaker sex.
And they will suffer greatly for it.
With that being said, that's my list of queens. Thank you for watching. I'm Yemi.com. Don't worry, I will be back, so stay tuned.